Hi guys, what's up? It's Joe Pitt here, back with another video, and in this video, it'll be for Love Island All-Stars 2026, Series 3, Episode 15. I'll leave a link down below to Episode 14. Of course, it's going to be spoilers. So without further ado, let's get on with it. So, as we knew, Shaq and Jess were dumped from the island. When Shaq was leaving, Helena said, you know, Shaq brought out her soft girl era. Maya spoke to Jess and Shaq, outside. Scott and Leanne had a chat. Whitney wanted, Shaq to stay over Connor. I think she told Scott that, and then eventually told Connor, and he was just a bit thrown back, really. Like, if you're hearing that in a couple, it's a bit like, ooh, you know, you don't really want to hear that. Leanne was, very upset because, well, you know, she was in the top 3 for going. And I guess if she was, leaving, Scott would have been like, no, I'm going to stay. But if you know you've got a secure relationship, I guess you would go. But then again, it was only 2 weeks. Maybe that's why he was like, I want to stay or something. Helena, has no one to flirt with now. Connor, told the boys as well, you know, that Whitney wanted Shaq to stay. I think that was in the morning or the night, I can't remember. Curtis made Millie a coffee, and then Tommy made Lucinda a coffee. I don't know if he got it wrong, because it was like, oh, is it supposed to be hot or something? Because I think she asked for an iced coffee or something. Curtis and Kieran spoke. I think Scott was there about the Millie situation. Scott told of the Leanne situation as well. Leanne spoke to some of the girls. Belle and Sammy spoke about Scott and Leanne, basically, you know, saying that Scott wasn't going to leave or something if Leanne left. Lucinda, Leanne and Millie spoke about Tommy, saying how nice he is. Then we have some new bombshells, as I mentioned. The American All-Stars are here. So we've got Yeaman, 31 years old. He's from Los Angeles, and he was on Series 1 of Love Island USA, which I think was in 2019. I looked up. So yeah, it's not, well, I'd say it's old, but it's, you know, it's not older than the UK version. Then we have Cher, it's, you know, with an S at the start, but it's pronounced Cher when she, you know, did her introduction. She's 27. She's from Miami, and she was on Series 2 of Love Island USA. Then we have Zach, 26 years old, from Arizona, and he was on Series 7 of Love Island USA. Doesn't say whereabouts in Arizona. Maybe, I'm guessing Phoenix, I'm not too sure, but it could be some random town that we've never heard of. Then we have Imani. It's not Imani, but she said Imani, I think. But that's going to be hard to pronounce every so often, because when it's spelled, I'm just going to say Imani. But yeah, Imani, 24 years old, also from Los Angeles, and she was on Series 5 of Love Island USA. Then we have Carrington, 28 years old, from Utah. He was on Series 2 of Love Island USA. Then finally, Kyra, I think she said Kyra, 28 years old, from Honolulu in Hawaii, and she was on Series 3 of Love Island USA. Maya came in as well. She knew a few of them as well. I think she knew Carrington and Imani. Cher said she's been single for 2 years. Kyra's been single for 6 months. She loves an accident. Imani's been single for 3 years. Yeaman's been single for 4 years. Carrington has been single for 3 years. And then I'm not sure about Zach, because I don't think he mentioned how long he was single for. Didn't catch that. Carrington also knows Scott, and Imani also knows Scott. Basically, I think he was in the Love Island Games, which happened a few years ago. I think it was 23. I can't remember exactly when it happened, but he was in that as well. Maya is surprised the main islanders as well. They thought, oh, something's bad gonna happen. But then she asked Millie, Belle, Whitney, Helena, Kieran, Scott, Jack and Tommy to stand on the bridge, and then them islanders to go into the other villa called Villa USA, and basically it left Curtis, Sammy, Sean, Leanne, Connor and Lucinda you know, in the main villa. So it sort of separated a few of the couples like they would do in Casa Amor, but then it's also given some of the single islanders, you know, a chance as well. But I don't know how long they're going to be staying there for, if it's going to be a few days, and then they have to decide if they want to couple up or, you know, go back single or something. Kieran and Cher spoke. Kieran said he's been to Las Vegas, but like Cher was saying, oh, you know, you need to go to Miami, I'll show you around. Jack and Imani, there was some good chat there. Cher and Scott spoke, and then, you know, she said, you're a troublemaker. Whitney and Yeaman spoke, they were talking about star signs, they were having a laugh as well. Cher and Imani said they would move to the UK, you know, to be with their partner. Scott knows Kyra's mate and Imani. Curtis likes Millie's traits. You know, Sean came over to hug him. Millie and Zach were speaking. Millie was saying, like, you know, Zach's ticking a few of the boxes, mostly look boxes. He's tall, he's brunette, he's got a beard, he's got tattoos. Zach's a sucker for light eyes as well. Kyra pulled Tommy from Belle. They had a chat. She said she got 17 piercings, and most of them are on one of her ears as well. Girls in the main villa spoke. I think they were talking about, you know, the whole leaving thing, Leanne, whatever. Jack and Cher spoke. Then, like, Jack mentioned, like, what's your favourite place? And she mentioned somewhere in Switzerland. She's said she's never seen so much greenery. Helena and Yeaman spoke. And then he was talking about Mexican food, you know. And she was like, ooh, I don't like it. And then he was just, I think, bit put off. I think that gave him the ick or something, saying that, you know, she doesn't like Mexican food. She doesn't like spicy food. Carrington and Belle spoke. You know, she was saying he's fit, handsome, and then they were talking about, you know, I have my foot in my mouth, and then Belle was saying you can put my foot in your mouth. I'm like, whoa, that took a turn for the worse. It just like 0 to 100 real quick. Then there was some beer pong dares. So, you know, playing beer pong, and then if you got it in the cup, you drink, and then you do the dare. So Imani had to snog the islander whose couple won't last on the outside, so went for Tommy. I mean, currently, like, yes, he's with Helena, so yeah, that doesn't make sense. But then if it was with Lucinda, then it would be different. But in terms of what he's in right now, it makes sense. Helena had to lick the islander from head to toe. You think is the complete package, so I went for Carrington. Zach had to snog the islander you have felt the most sexual tension with so far. Went for Millie, and it was a very long kiss as well. It was, I think, nearly over 15 seconds. Kieran had to snog the islander you're most excited to spend more time with. He went for Cher. Belle had to snog an islander of your choice and rate the kiss out of 10, so went for Carrington and gave it a 9. Cher had to snog the islander you think is in a one-sided relationship and went for Scott. Yeah, I think she just said, you know, it's a bit early days and all, and you shouldn't be this coupled up too soon or something, she was saying, yeah. Whitney had to snog the islander you think is boyfriend material, so went for Yeaman. And then at the end, Connor was like comforting Curtis, and then we were left on that. On the app, Helena whispered into Shaq's ear TBC as he left. It's day 14 and your partner gets dumped. Would you leave with them? Well, 52% are saying for sure. I came in and found what I was looking for. 37% I'd stay for the experience and be open to new connections. And then 11% said I planned way too many cute fits to voluntarily leave. Your partner says, would you rather you have been dumped than their friend? Your reaction. So 57% are thinking, let them know they hurt my feelings. 31% are saying start an argument. And then like 9% saying silent cry under my mask. And then 3% kiss them. Whitney, I'm not quite sure I can charge this one. There's a video of picking a friend over your partner. How well do you know your USA All-Stars? Claim to be a Love Island International Superfan. Take the quiz to test your knowledge. So it's asking which Love Island USA series was Zach on? Series 7. Which statement is true about Cher's Love Island USA experience? Now, of course, I've never watched the Love Island, so this, was most of these were guesses as well. So either she was a Casa Amor girl that got brought back into the main villa, she was an OG but the first to be dumped, or she came second place in her series. She was a Casa Amor girl that got brought back into the main villa, she was. What was Carrington's nickname during Love Island USA Series 2? Date guy, kiss guy, or shy guy? It was date guy. I guess he had loads of dates or something, I'm not too sure. Where did Kyra place in Love Island USA Series 3? First, second or third? She placed second. What did Yemen enter Love Island USA Series 1 as? A bombshell, a Casa Amor boy, and an OG? It was an OG. And then, how do Imani and Scott know each other already? Exes, met on a night out, or both on Love Island Games? As mentioned, they were both on Love Island Games. Are the other All-Stars ready for some American charm? And then we've got some statements from the boys and the girls. I'd hate to say I've got my eyes on all of them. From one of the girls, I think Kyra it was, and then Imani said, I do what I want. He has to be okay with kind of going against the grain. And then Cher, I'm pretty good at getting what I want. Then we have Zach, I'm super open. Everyone here is hot, so it's like how do we work chemistry wise. Yemen said, I'm looking for someone who has a passion for life. And then Carrington, I mean, it's every guy's dream to find a girl abroad. Kieran and Cher are getting on well. Could it be enough to turn his head? 65% are thinking his head won't turn for Sammy. And then 35% the head turning has begun. Officially single, that's music to Imani's ears. There's a little photo of that, of Jack as well. The girl that I was coupled up with last night got dumped, so I'm officially single. Not to smile at her demise. And there's a photo as well of that. Is there any chance of Scott's eyes wandering for one of the USA All-Stars girls? Well, 81% are thinking those eyes be wandering, and 19% nah, he's going strong with Leanne. Is Whitney crazy about US All-Star Yemen? And then there's a video letting a little bit of your crazy come out. Would you ever move abroad for love? Well, 35% are saying I'd be open to it for sure. 31%, only if it was really in love with them. 20% I'd do anything to be with my partner. And 14%, no way, they can move to me. The eye contact between Zach and Millie, though, I'm a sucker for light eyes. Love them, great work. You grew them yourself. There's a photo of it as well. Not liking Mexican food might just be Yemen's ick with the way he reacted to Helena. Then there's a video. That one friend who can't handle the heat. Belle is quite literally ready to dip her toe into Carrington. There's a video offering up your feet on a first meet. Which girl does Zach snog for the Islander he has the most sexual tension with? It's Millie. And then which USA All-Star boy does Whitney snog in the game? It's Yemen. And then we were left on that. But anyway, that is all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.